Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well, knowing that the market over the world is going into a crazy crash, and of course this was already also expected during the last weekend, and this is what exactly I was talking about the fear and the psychology that is going on, and here we go. This is a result. And unfortunately, yeah, that has affected Bitcoin at the end. I don't know why. It shouldn't normally because Bitcoin should not be the asset that it should be reflected by the US recession again. Knowing that any other currencies around the world did not really got affected as much as Bitcoin. But basically it was about the stock markets and about the US stock markets specifically. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, but the fear, the quantity of the fear on the market was and still unbelievable. We can see a massive drop for the monthly, and here in our study, yeah, we show that we still have some space to go for over 100K, and it might be still open, of course. However, what happened yesterday might change the structure, right? And we have already seen the change of structure during that drop in the middle of it, and that was kind of a signal. However, it was not really clear what is going on until yesterday night, right? So if we go to the daily chart, what we have now is we're still seeing an impulse, right? We are still seeing an impulse, but actually many things happen now, right? Like it has changed the thing. Even in Elliott Wave perspective, this cannot be really counted, okay? Because I cannot count ABC, and I cannot count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just see emotions here and fear. It's something beyond Elliott Wave. Of course, when the fear in the market and all the sellers comes in, no one will reply to Elliott Waves, right? And this is exactly where the things start, right? So we cannot really count ABC here. I mean, it's very sharp. It looks like just one wave towards the downside. So the things are like that now. We got our fifth wave, right? In this correction, and this changed the whole correction figure now. It was supposed to have 1, 2, 3 and move on with 1, 2, right? And as yesterday I spoke, okay, let us not celebrate early because we need a signal, right? We need a signal, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and then start a wave, 3 waves up, to reach, of course, the higher wave 1, right? And this did not really happen on the 15-minute. If we go back to it to check, I see only drops here. I mean, it's really unuseful to use this. However, it was here, right? This was our hope here to start exactly the wave 5, right? And based on the fib levels, it was perfectly respected. This is what makes it much more, yeah, tricky, right? So we got our wave 1 almost, okay, but it was very micro. It was not very clear, as I said as well. It should look like a clear 3 waves up, then 3 waves down, then 5 waves up again, and reaching this level over it, right? And this is not what happened, right? Rather than this, we saw a fast correction again, right? Which is called ABC if you want, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So impulse after impulse, which reflecting only fear and craziness, right? Now, of course, we see some pullback towards the upside. This is what I want to talk about, that it might be now this is the case, that we have 5 waves in the correction, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which make it an expanded diagonal, which is the most rare pattern that it might form. And of course, for a rare scenario like now, with a recession and the war around the Middle East and the World War III on the doors and so on, and the fear, yeah, the rare pattern might appear, right? Might appear. And this is exactly what we got now. So if we are still looking for a wave 4, right? After reading this correction now, I see 5 waves, right? Which make it impulsive, right? That means we are looking to a wave 1. And if that is a wave 1, we are looking for a wave 2, and then continuation towards the downside, right? So that is exactly what I'm talking about a market reversal here, right? Where, yeah, we got a 5 waves in the correction. Now, another reading, as I represent this before, right? As an A, B, C, and another A, B, and a C, right? And after the C as a regular flat, but it has a very low possibility now, because even it has passed the fib levels for a wave B and a regular flat, which is maximum is 1.05, right? In that case, this doesn't work. And if I want to say it's an expanded flat wave B retracement, as expanding flat B retracement, now this could work, right? However, then we have to read this as follow. Then I don't know, I see still see 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I don't know how can this be read as 1, 2, 3. However, if that is the case, if we want to take, okay, transform this to 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, and hitting the fib level for a wave B and expanded flat, then we are looking, of course, for a wave C towards the upside, right? Yeah, hitting, of course, over the higher high that we got before. However, it could end up as well in a running flat, right? Hitting only the 61% of the wave B. So therefore, it is also very risky, all right? A very risky trade here. In case you want to take this. So if we say expanding flat C, this is our fib level here, right? Reaching the 1.38 at 72,000, which I really don't, yeah, I don't trust it, because in all this fear and all this market psychology now, I doubt it, right? I doubt it. So what I see actually is a 1 and 2, which reflecting also a running flat at the same time, and that might be the same target, and then heading down. In that case, this can turn to an ABC, right? Our cycle can turn to an A B, and a C. Then we are looking for a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside, right? However, if we look also at the CME gap, if you remember, I mentioned that this weekend we're gonna get a second gap, right? The weird thing is that we got a huge gap again, reflecting the same gap before. So in this scenario now, this gap has not been yet filled, and a bigger gap has been created. So of course we are looking to fill this again. And I think it's gonna be a wave 2 towards the downside, as we spoke in our scenario before, right? So that would a scenario where our bull market here could end, which it has much more possibilities now, seeing 5 waves down. In another scenario, okay, that it could happen as well on the Bitcoin again. So it could be that the wave 4 can extend even much longer in time. Okay, so it can be, rather than a wave 1 towards the downside and then 2, it could be a wave A, right? It could be another wave B, and then looking more for lower prices to reach 0.618, for example, or even there. I mean, when you reach the 0.618 for a wave 4, then this is kind of invalidation, right, for your impulse. So it wouldn't be so far if we get an A, a B, and a C to invalidate anyway an impulse, right? So that was really hectic, right? Hectic day. I mean, I was okay with it to go down so far to the wave 2, as we saw in the last videos, and it was working perfectly until the point where actually just the fear has started to appear much more, right? And it was exactly with the confluence of some conflicts in the Middle East at the same time. So at the time where the crash, the crash that has happened here, the global crash started, even not just for Bitcoin, of course, it was exactly at the same time where some war conflicts has started between Israel and Lebanon, right? Yeah, and of course, you know the scenarios, right? So that is nothing to do, to be honest. I will not move inside the micro. I'm out now, okay? Because to be honest, I was expecting to go up, and of course, even I can lose some money there, right? So once we hit the wave 2, to be honest, I entered a low position, a very low amount of position. However, it went so fast down, right? So of course I ended up with some loss, and I stopped the loss, of course, at the end. But yeah, it was not a beautiful trade at all, right? It was very, very tricky and not helpful. So I suggest that you be careful, guys, and yeah, don't get also how to say, tricked by some candles here towards the upside. I don't see any signal yet. Okay, we touched the 886 here as well, so we are expecting to go back. Okay, so there is an 886 here touch, so we're gonna take this low again. And in that case, if we take this low again, that means we're gonna break the level of a expanding flat, so that will also be out, and therefore it means, yeah, we are in expanded diagonal, right? A big expanded diagonal here, right? And that means wave 1 or wave A, okay, one of them, and that means in both case scenario, not a really good news for in terms of bullish market, right? In case of 1, we are looking for a 2 and towards the downside, and in case of an A, we are looking for 3 wave, of course, in both case scenario, for a B here, and after the B, we are looking for the downside, and if it says zigzag, because 535, then we are expecting to touch the 0.618, which invalidate kind of an impulse, or make it weaker, right? Then it's not gonna end as an impulse, so you don't know what to expect after touching this, right? And I don't think that it's gonna just touch as this level. I think even it's gonna go deeper. So once it goes deeper, then yeah, it's over, right? So if we go also to the CME gap, I want to show you something also very tragic, right? So on the weekly, yeah, let's go to the daily, it's much more clearer. On the daily chart, on the CME chart, you can see as well something very doubtful, an unclosed CME gap. unclosed. Yeah. So this gap has never been closed, right? And I'm keeping it in mind for such scenarios, right? For such scenarios. As well here. Oh, yeah. As well here we have a gap, two gaps then. We have two unfilled gaps in the CME towards the downside. One is at the 21,000 and the other one is at the 10,000, right? So, and that means something, of course. It doesn't mean nothing, okay? I think some people will say, oh, okay, this is CME, and I don't think so, right? So I don't think that this is just nothing. I think sooner or later this is gonna be filled. And looking at the chart itself, it's not a far scenario, right? It's not a far scenario. I can already see here, right, a start of maybe diagonal, contracting diagonal towards the upside, right? However, we are in a very huge lag towards the downside. So everything is possible, guys. Yeah. Keep this in mind: 20, 21,000, and 10,000. So that was it for Bitcoin. Trade safe, guys, and I hope that you did not went into losses with this as well, right? And yeah, I wish you to have a nice day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.